Thank you. Sponsors of the debate, thank you so much. Good election debate is always welcome. I hope it will clear the air. Those opposing me, and it's understandable, will point out what's wrong with me, and what's wrong with the mayor, what's wrong with the council, and what's wrong with the operations in the city. I'd like to elaborate on some things that paint a more positive snapshot of where we are, not only in Ward 1, but right across the city. Kind of a state of the art, if you will, state of the city, pardon me. Number one, people classify us as big spenders. Well, there was a 0% tax increase. They said, well, that's an election budget. All budgets are election budgets. The debt load in Sault Ste. Marie, Standard & Poor's rated us as A+. 50 years ago, our debt was 16 million. It's now 14 million and decreasing. How are we doing on roadways? A few years ago, we spent $4 to $5 million. Now we're spending $12 to $15 million thanks to the gas tax. Our academic institutions, we need to acknowledge and laud them. They are flourishing. International students. 170 students from Saudi Arabia are studying in Sault Ste. Marie. Our population is up slightly, reversing that negative trend. The Innovation Center employs 45 people, and there are job opportunities for 20 more in the IT field out there. SR and Tenaris, our major employers, are doing quite well. The Port of Algoma, well, I wish I had more time to say all sorts of good things. We are the alternative energy capital of North America. We have to pursue that niche. I wish I had more time.
Mr. Chair, this election is about what we need to do to bring the city forward and how can we make this the best possible city for all the citizens of Sault Ste. Marie. The focus that I'm focusing on in my campaign are three important areas. First, I want to improve democracy for the citizens of Sault Ste. Marie. Too often decisions are made without the public being involved. There's many ways to increase public participation, including allowing the public to participate in, the municipality has boards, it has structures, it has a way of administering what we do in the city and what services we want. Well, it's time to make that more accessible to the public. It's not about what the central government of the city wants to do. The public has to be consulted. And this is just not the case. We're concerned about how money is spent. And we're concerned about what direction the city can go in. From my point of view, in order to go forward, you need to look at how we spend money. Well, for starters, the members of council should frankly take a pay cut right now. Go back to the 2010 levels. We have to look at a comprehensive plan in terms of identifying what type of services does the public want? What does the public want out of their city? That's what's important. And so the way the council is organized doesn't do any of that. So that's what we got to look to. And if you're going to have a result like that, you've got to elect someone. You've got to elect someone who's going to make that their position. You've got to elect someone who has a vision for the future. It's not always about the day-to-day. We can deal with that. But right now, City Council is just not progressing as we should. This should be a great city.
Thank you, Mark. I too would like to thank the sponsors of the debate. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen in the council chambers, and to all the Ward 1 residents watching on Shaw TV and Local 2.ca. Happy to report to the Ward 1 residents that I just came from a 2-hour meeting today with the PUC president. I was going to bat for the Ward 1 residents to understand the process with the water and what has transpired over the last 3 years. This truly gave me a vision that there is a disconnect in communications, and a monthly town hall will fill this disconnect. A couple of ideas that I brought forward to the PUC president this afternoon have been considered by the PUC. They are as follows. Immediately change our system to an ozone system as a primary disinfectant, which would get rid of the taste and odor issues. Secondly, I brought to his attention the green sand filtration system to filter out the chlorine and odor taste. The PUC president and the MOE have consented to a monthly town hall. This will be a very useful tool to lessen the disconnect of communication between the PUC and the Ward 1 residents. Currently, the Warner well has been shut down as of May 2014. The PUC is moving forward to implement advanced treatment methods, harmonize the pH level. There's still too much of a pH variance, and improve corrosion control. The lead levels are still high in Sault Ste. Marie. Thank you.
Thank you very much to the sponsors of tonight's event. I appreciate the opportunity to speak to everybody this evening. The last 4 years as your counselor have been the most rewarding years of my life. 4 years ago, I made a pledge to Ward 1 residents that I would work hard in my role as a Ward 1 counselor, to render well-informed decisions, to respond quickly and effectively to all constituent requests, and to keep municipal taxes as low as possible without impacting city services. As I look back on these 4 years, I feel a sense of satisfaction knowing that I've done everything I could to live up to those promises. Being a counselor is more than sitting in front of a camera every other Monday, focusing on 1 or 2 issues that I think are popular. It's about working hard behind the scenes as an advocate for all people. It's about dealing with issues that can polarize citizens yet require informed, reasoned, and balanced decision-making. As a lifelong resident, I've invested my entire life to this great community. People who know me know that I always give my all. Whether it was working 16-hour days for 2 years, holding down a job while attending Lake Superior State University while I earned my teaching degree, or serving in my current role as governor with Sioux College and as their building and finance chair, I have always worked tirelessly regardless of the challenge. As a high school teacher, I appreciate and support the youth in our community. We need them as part of our future. Our seniors are our legacy, and we must all work to preserve their efforts and to provide a city that's affordable and accessible to them. If elected, my pledge to you is that I will continue to work hard to advance the issues that are most important to the growth and vitality of our city. As a civic leader, I will continue to look ahead and plan for a positive future. We don't need leaders who say and do things which they think they will win favor with. We need responsible leadership that attempts to consider and represent the views of all citizens.
Thank you, Mark. I'll have time to get into some of the issues that face us as candidates and my fellow citizens of Ward 1 throughout this evening, and hopefully when I meet you at your door. What I'd like to talk about here in this brief moment I have is the vision that I have of Sault Ste. Marie. Now, unlike my fellow candidates here, I was not born and raised in Sault Ste. Marie, so I have a bit of a different perspective on the city. And I met many people from Sault Ste. Marie living in Southern Ontario. And invariably, you'd walk into different establishments, whether it be Windsor, London, Toronto, Barrie, and there'd be a group of people talking louder, laughing harder than anybody else in the place. Those would be people from Sault Ste. Marie. And if you spend time talking to them, they would tell you that they wish they were doing that right here in this city. And I can't disagree with that. And my wife was born and raised here, as were her parents and her grandparents. And now I have the opportunity to watch my children grow up in this city. And I would like to have the opportunity to watch my grandchildren grow up in this city. And I think that's what this election is all about. It's about creating the city that we want for ourselves, for our children, and for our grandchildren. We have some opportunities. We need to capitalize on them. And I think I'm the person to help make that happen. Thank you.